It's, in my opinion, and this is just coming from me, it's not that big, I guess, because there are not that many Hispanics that graduate. You know, it's just a small percentage. You know, my school last year, I only knew about 4 Hispanics that graduated out of like 30 that I knew that were seniors last year. So, you know, it's here and there. I don't hear too much about education in the Hispanic world here.
I think it means a lot because most of us don't have that back home. You gotta pay for it.
For the community, well, now because of the Kalamazoo Promise, I guess it's very important because they want to see everyone succeed, to make a better community for everyone to live around.
Education is everything. You gotta have your education to be somebody.
If you're not educated, then you're not going to go anywhere, and if you're not educated, then you're not going to know certain things to help you and help your family and whatnot.
To my family, especially to our culture, I feel, because you gotta have an education to get a job, you gotta have a job to be successful, so it's very important.
Education is, well, for any community, it's knowledge, and knowledge is power. It's something that the Hispanic community should strive for, and it'll teach us how to deal with the other cultures that are in the U.S.
So, in my case, my family, you know, it's everything because everybody in my family went to college. Everybody in my family goes to college, so it's big in our family. Because my mom, right now she's in the university. She's graduated so many times. She has like over 200 credits, you know, but she's gonna go to school until she dies.
The Promise provides financial support. However, there are many challenges that Hispanic Latino students have to overcome in order to make the Promise a reality.
When I was in Lincoln, my elementary school, like they would just leave me out of the class because when I first got here, I didn't really know English. I only knew Spanish, and like they would just leave me out the group and then teach me English and stuff like that. When I try to read, they'll just be like skip it and then just go to the next person. I'd be like, how come you didn't pick me? They'll just be like, but you don't know how to read good. How you just gonna say that? Just teach me. I used to get discriminated a lot in elementary school. Because I wouldn't really talk, I would stay to myself. And I remember he used to make this comment in front of the class. He used to be like, hey Ricardo, when I walk up to the window, when I meet no pickles, I meet no pickles. And at the time I didn't really understand it, but he's basically telling me that I wasn't going to amount to nothing, and that basically I was going to be working at McDonald's or something.
No offense, they'd rather go to the white kid before they go to a black kid or a Mexican, Latino. And like if a Latino raises a hand first, then a white person raises his hand, they'll go to the white person first, then the Latino or a black person. That's true sometimes.
It's like, if you think about it in the schools or whatever, it's more programs that help you out with school, like academics and stuff like that. It's more of those programs you don't see for minorities, I would say, unless you are in sports. But if you ask, like, let's say, one of the white students who go to your school or whatever, they know about all the little clubs and all the little opportunities and stuff, and a lot of the people who are in those clubs are white. They won't say, like, okay, it's for just white students, but you know how it's separated in school? Like, you walk into your lunch, you see, okay, here go the white students, the black students, and then, the Hispanic students or whatever. It's hard to go into another place where you're different, or you're the, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when you see that in school, it's not a lot of opportunities for, like, minority students or whatever to get the help that they need because they're like the outcast or whatever. They're the different. And no one really reaches out to them.
I think that when it comes, like I mentioned, we're very family oriented, and that means that at a very young age, two things happen. Because the kids are attending schools, so they start learning English. And that's a good thing for the family, but it's a bad thing for the child. Because from that moment on, that child becomes the interpreter for the family. That means that child, whether it's 7 years old, 8 years old, 10 years old, is going to be dealing with if the electricity got disconnected. They're going to be the ones interpreting for mom to talk to the electric company. If they're the first ones, they're going to be getting all that information unfiltered.
There's the streets. There's the streets that stop a lot of people. Living here, sometimes you're not looking for trouble. Trouble comes looking for you.
I'm not saying every Hispanic, but most Hispanics put themselves down by themselves. Like they how a lot of people tell them, oh, you're Hispanic, so you can't do this, and they believe it. They're putting themselves down by themselves just because somebody told them you can't do it. And instead of doing it because that person told them, you can't do it, they actually listen to that person.
Younger siblings. I have had kids at Central, they have a 4.0 GPA, and they get all these letters from different universities, and they're like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm the only one that is legal in my family, so as soon as I hit 18, I want to start working so I can help my parents.
The numbers are small, but hope remains because Hispanics still have a presence in higher education.
I go to Western Michigan University, and I'll be starting my 3rd year in September.
What made me go to college is I just looked at where I was at, and I didn't like it. So I wanted to better myself. I was already at the bottom, so I might as well go up.
I'm only the second person in my family that would go to college. My older brother was the first, and he came to Western a couple years before me. But I was always going to go to college. I never thought that I wouldn't.
If you don't go to school, you're finished.
I guess college is so important because we want to be able to have our own role models for our community, and at the same time we want to be able to have education is important because when you have an education you're going to have a voice for our community, and you're going to be able to advocate better for our community.
The only thing that's stopping you is yourself, and lo único que te está parando es usted mismo.
It afforded me the opportunity to grow exponentially. Like, I'm a totally different person I was from when I started at Western, and that's a good thing because I know like 2,000 more people that I didn't know before, and I've grown outside of myself and done a lot of things that I never thought I would do, and I know a whole lot more people. I'm just more comfortable with who I am as I've grown, so I don't think I would have done that without college.
Just keep going. Si se puede.
Armando, where you going? We gonna miss the game.
I'm going to talk to families and friends.
About what?
A better future.
Dentro de las uñas y callos en los pies, mal aliento sale de mi boca, palabras de fetidez. Este pelo pica, barbacita perezosa. Soy una oruga que nunca muda en mariposa. No quiero que me vean, no quiero que me oigan, quiero quedarme.